Check had collected more than $26 million. The One Orlando Fund Board is now adding up those donations to determine how to distribute that money.
As many as 5,000 Pulse memorial items are now sitting in a climate-controlled warehouse out of the elements. Today, the manager of the Orange County Regional History Center showed us a handful of the items taken from the various makeshift memorials created after the attack. He says it's a difficult process both physically and emotionally, but an important one.
We need to treat this with the greatest dignity and respect. These items represent people's emotions, people's response. It was a worldwide response.
Right now, there is no plan in place to display the items. The museum director said if that day comes in 10, 20, 50, or 100 years, they'll be preserved and ready. You can see the entire conversation Sunday at 12:30 on Central Florida Spotlight on Channel 9.
Right now, day 4 of protests continuing in Charlotte, North Carolina. And tonight's protests seem to be more peaceful than in nights past. Let's take a live look from above the area of Charlotte right now, and there were hundreds, if not thousands, of people marching in the streets. These protesters come after the shooting of a black man by a black police officer. Just hours ago, the family of Keith Scott, the man who was shot and killed by police, released cell phone video right here of the incident leading up to Scott being shot. In fact, his wife is rolling this. The video shows police yelling at him to repeatedly put down a gun. The family's attorney says they wanted to release the video as part of their quest for truth. Meanwhile, calls continue for the police chief to release dash cam and body camera video. The chief has said he will not be releasing it while there is an ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, protests have been seen in other cities. This is what it looked like in Dallas and now happening in Atlanta. Hundreds of people marching to protest the deadly shootings of Keith Scott and Terrence Crutcher, who was killed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to take one more look at live pictures from Charlotte. A midnight curfew is still in effect. Despite that, though, protesters are now marching on Interstate 277, a major highway going into the city. Traffic has come to a standstill there, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation and let you know what happens. Meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton was scheduled to make a campaign stop in Charlotte on Sunday. Within the last 20 minutes, she said she was going to postpone her event.
A 10-year-old facing a manslaughter charge is spending his first night in a youth detention home. Berwan Blyden, seen here, we've covered his face, is accused of killing his 2-year-old cousin. Today, a Marion County judge approved a request to move him from the county jail to the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. Blyden's public defender says because of the nature of the case, the 10-year-old cannot be around other kids without adult supervision.
His sister is also placed at the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. There might be some visitation between the two of them, but it would be supervised at all times.
We're also told Blyden could be moved to another location because he was placed at the youth ranch by DCF.
Tonight, Volusia County deputies are hoping you can help them track down the person who shot a man in his own driveway. Crook Thomas was shot in the leg several times outside of his home on Pine Springs Drive in DeBerry. Deputies are now looking for a silver 2009 through 2014 Volkswagen Golfer GTI. Investigators say the shooter opened fire on Thomas while he was leaving for work. Thomas should be okay. Volusia County Sheriff's deputies also on high alert after someone set a patrol car on fire. The cruiser was parked at a Holly Hill repair lot overnight waiting on repairs. Witnesses tell us they spotted 6-foot-high flames coming from that car and another person's vehicle at around 4 a.m. and they called 911.
And it came out first car was a civilian car. And then the second one, I got closer and I told dispatcher, no, now it is the sheriff's car, up in flame.
The sheriff's office estimates that the total damage to the cars is about $20,000. New tonight, a former Brevard County teacher will not see the inside of a Florida classroom for at least 5 years.
That's right, the state yanked his teaching license after a series of complaints dating back 8 years, including accusations he put student safety at risk. Eyewitness News at 10's Mike Manzoni went through the suspension order and found out state investigators say the teacher was incompetent.
Eyewitness News got a copy of this order to suspend former Brevard County art teacher Mark Ostermeyer's license for 5 years. The report says over the course of at least a decade, Ostermeyer taught at both Bayside High School and Lockmar Elementary School in Palm Bay. State investigators say Ostermeyer was incompetent and say his students had been deprived a minimum educational experience.
State investigators say the teacher also sent elementary school students outside his classroom to look for dinosaurs.
The state says school administrators felt that practice placed students at risk. The state says Ostermeyer said that the technique was an acceptable strategy that should have been allowed.
I would be pretty upset.
Parents I talked with tonight told me they were shocked to hear about the allegations.
I do not approve of that, and I would definitely have a huge concern with that.
Yes.
State investigators say school administrators rated Ostermeyer's performance as unsatisfactory, but somehow he was given a contract for the following school year in error. Mike Manzoni, Eyewitness News at 10.
We reached out to the school district tonight for a comment, but we never heard back. It is unclear if he taught anywhere else after leaving the Brevard County School District 4 years ago.
If your nighttime weekend plans include driving down Colonial Drive in the Mills neighborhood, you'll be met with detour signs because of construction. Right now, the section of Colonial near Shine is already shut down for overnight road work. Crews closed it off at 7 this evening. They'll close it each night over the weekend at the same time and reopen it at 6 the next morning. We spoke to an employee at a nearby restaurant. May be impacted.
If they cannot comment up front, I don't know if they're trying to comment back. If they really wanted to eat, yes, they will, but I don't know.
Right now, the closure is expected for the weekend. We'll let you know if that changes.
An Osceola County deputy is off the job and facing charges after a co-worker's wife says he assaulted and choked her. The woman said she was having an affair with Deputy Rafael Sanchez, but she tried to end that relationship. She told investigators Sanchez showed up to her house uninvited, grabbed her by the face and choked her before taking her iPhone and throwing it in a retention pond. Sanchez is now facing a criminal and internal investigation. New tonight, we're getting another look at the moment a Sunrail train crashed into a car from the camera inside the train. You can see the vehicle tries to get out of the way before being hit on State Road 434 and Ronald Reagan Boulevard. This happened yesterday. Now, we showed you viewer video of the crash. Longwood police say the vehicle was stopped for traffic congestion when the train hit it and pushed it into another vehicle. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Oh, that's scary. A deputy chief for the Ocala Police Department will be running day-to-day operations now that the police chief has been suspended. During a special meeting today, city leaders suspended Chief Greg Graham. 3 officers accused him of sexual harassment, retaliation, and discrimination. Earlier this week, the chief asked to be placed on paid leave during the investigation.
The ultimate goal is for the folks is that he not be there. So he's not there, whether it's being a suspension or unpaid administrative leave.
The chief's contract up for renewal next month. If the investigation is still going, the council could vote or delay the vote until it's over. Deputy Chief Rodney Smith will take over while Graham is out.
Neighbors are on edge after this clown was spotted lurking along a dark rural road.
No, good night. Anything can happen.
The measures the sheriff's office took to find the clown, even though a crime hadn't been committed.
Plus, I'm updating the timing of more heavy rain as you plan your upcoming weekend.
Plus, the trend the local school district says is making school fights like this one even more dangerous. And the anomaly SpaceX says caused this rocket to explode.
We understand how busy you are in the mornings. That's why coverage you can count on is so important.
Our goal is to help you get out the door.
When severe weather rolls in, when something happens on the roads, we work as a team.
We want to know those details so we can give you the information that you need to know.
We try to deliver the stories that really do have a direct impact on your life.
To be able to give you the most up-to-date road conditions, the most up-to-date weather forecast.
We're here to arm you with the information you need to make it a great day.
Lights are on. This is the ultra-responsive, accurate TLX, and this is how we make it. Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.